Ooh, IG got me shadow banned, honey. No sleep for you? Hey, how you guys doing? Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been, what, about a month since I did live on IG? Blessings, blessings, blessings to everyone. Make sure you guys let everybody know I'm live, man. Go tell everybody I'm live because IG got me shadow banned. So I don't expect a whole lot of people to actually get on this live right now because they shadow banning the hell out of me. Boss lady, what's going on, fam? Hey, go to Telegram and tell everybody I'm live over here. If you're on my Telegram, let everybody know on the Say It Loud chat that I'm live over here. Please. I'm so glad to see you too. La Delia. I haven't even done a live in a minute. You ain't caught no live because I ain't did a live in a minute. I'm just waiting to see how many people's going to go on here. Just so y'all know, IG got me shadow banned. So, I don't know how long this is going to last, but they got me shadow banned, babies. I'm doing the best that I can right now under the circumstances. But if you could let people know that I'm on here, that would be greatly appreciated. You did? Thank you, baby. Thank you. As soon as I posted Cali, my views and everything dropped. Yeah, it's a lot of craziness going on right now, man. It's a lot of craziness. And to be honest with y'all, y'all know I moved out the country. And my focus is on other things now. The frequency here the vibrational frequency here where I'm located at in Mexico is very, very high. I'm able to, right now, since I just moved, I'm in the process of getting myself centered. But I love the energy here. It's good, high vibrational energy here. And it's allowed me to focus on a few things. Okay. So I know things have been crazy and you guys haven't seen me do any lives and I've been quiet as hell. Now I have been doing lives on my Telegram channel. So for those of you that are new, go onto the Telegram channel, click the OIC University link tree in the bio, click where it says my Telegram and you're into the chat automatically. Okay. That's all you got to do. So what I want to talk to you guys about, and before I get started on that, let me just say this one thing. I told you guys a while back there's going to come a point in time where you won't have me or others to lean on as much because the writing is on the wall. And it feels a little redundant when I come on here and talk about things that I talked about that I said was going to happen like last year, that I talked about that was going to happen at the beginning of this year. And now 2020 predictions part 2, June, and everything has just taken off ever since I did that last 2021 predictions. Okay. So it's kind of like people are asking me, well, what do I do? And I'm like, I've been talking to you guys about this for over a year now, about what you're supposed to do. You guys need to get on my previous lives on my Instagram as well as my Telegram channel so you can figure out what it is that you need to do. One of the things I always try to push for everyone is to make sure that you got your shadow work done because it helps you build inner strength. It helps you build character. It helps you get grounded. It helps you get centered. So when situations come about, you're strong enough and you have enough fortification to handle the things that are coming. And I talked about how Aquarius is not for the play. A lot of people was like, oh, Aquarius this, Aquarius that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, new age this, new age that. Not realizing that Aquarius has to break down old systems. Not realizing that if you're attached to the old systems, you're going to get broken down with it. because you're not ready to accept the changes that are coming about. You're not ready to accept the new guard that's now here, the change of guard. You're not ready to accept it. Now, you may say, Isis, what do you mean? There's a bunch of craziness going on. They're trying to do this, they're trying to do that, and blah, 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 blah. This is true. Everything that you guys think and you're seeing is absolutely true. But also understand that this was all written. This all has to come to pass. Okay? This all has to come to pass. Every single thing that you see happening right now is the destruction of the old guard. Now, you got certain people out here that made agreements with certain beings out here thinking that they were on the winning team, not realizing that they just sold themselves to the devil. So even though they think they may be on the winning team, that's temporary, like for now. But that's not going to last very long, because the beings that they made their pacts with has an agenda that doesn't include the individuals who's currently assisting them and destroying the world, basically. Okay? And the people that are actually in the process of setting or putting this thing in motion aren't even human. Okay, so let's get that established. I want you guys to understand. So when you start talking to me about the stuff that I see going down in Cuba, the stuff I see going down in Australia, the stuff that I see going down in the UK, the stuff that's going on down here in America, the stuff that's going on down in Colombia and various different places of the world, this was planned. And remember, we were told that we were crazy, remember? We were the ones that were told we were crazy, that we were conspiracy theorists. ISIS this, ISIS that. Now, articles coming out about the moon wobbling, okay? And for some strange reason, only the United States is going to be affected by that. Now, you got to use some critical thinking when it comes to things like this. It's a big world. And if the moon is exactly what they said it was, if it's going to wobble, don't you think it would affect the entire planet? Why would it only affect the United States and the coastal areas of the United States? So we got to start critically thinking and asking questions. Like, first of all, we already know what NASA is. Never straight answer. We got that. So any report coming out from them, I'm already looking at them with 8 heads. So I'm not believing nothing that's coming out of their mouth. And let's just say for shits and giggles, okay, what they're saying is true. But they're not talking about the other planet that's being seen around the world that's, close to us. I put a picture up and I let you guys see it. You guys argue me up and down. Some of you guys argued me up and down and said this was a rainbow. This is a double rainbow. And you can clearly see that's a goddamn whole planet right there. And they have the ability to cloak themselves. They have the technology to cloak themselves. You guys don't know shit about Nibiru or what it's capable of doing. Okay? So they're not talking about that. Now, Mr. MB333 just put up a video tonight where he talks about this large object that's next to the International Space Station. You guys need to check out his video. It's really dope, and take a look at what the hell that is that's sitting next to that International Space Station. Okay? I want you guys to understand something. There's no such thing as aliens. Aliens do not exist. Now, interdimensional beings, yes. In other words, these beings are coming into the dome system, okay, interdimensionally through portals. This is real, okay? But I don't want you guys getting caught up in the matrix when I hear you guys say aliens, 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 and all that other stuff. Aliens are demons. I mean, if that's how you want to look at it, aliens are demons. So we're not talking about aliens. We're talking about interdimensional beings, okay? And if you understand that there's more dimensions, and if you understand that we live on a flat plane, not flat earth, that sounds religious. I said a plane, okay? A plane that does not rotate. The sun and the moon constantly rotates around the dome. Actually, the dome is rotating. If you guys take the time out to go outside and you stand still long enough, there are certain days where you can look up and you can actually see the dome actually rotating on its own, okay? You can actually see that happening. This is the things that they don't want you to know about, but it's now out there. And now the theme is that everybody's going to be held accountable now to the things they do and the things they say out their mouth. Everybody's being held accountable now to all the lies that have been told. There's a lot of things that are coming to the forefront that we've turned a blind eye to. that now we realize we can no longer turn a blind eye to it anymore. So the people are fed up all the way around the world. Okay? But I'm going to say this one thing to y'all. And I never want you to forget this one thing. I'm going to say this one time and one time only. And I'm going to need you to remember. This is a program. This is a program. A program that was designed to self-destruct. A program that was designed to wake up the original people. All the stuff that you see going on out here is designed to wake us up. Now, you might say, ISIS is kind of harsh, but you got to remember who and what you are. You got to remember that. Okay? You got to stop being emotional and you got to start thinking. You got to start learning how to control your emotions, because emotions will get you killed out here if you are not on point with everything that's taking place. There's going to be a lot of things that you guys are going to see over the next 3 years after 2021, 22, 23, 4 years. There's going to be some things or some major changes that you guys are going to see over the next 4 years. And it's going to be some things that you just simply are not going to be able to stomach. And some things that you are just simply not going to be able to handle. Okay? But I'm going to give you guys this one heads up. For those of you that want to leave the country, I suggest that you plan to have that done no later than 2025. I wouldn't even say 2025. I would say the end of 2024. I would even go as far as saying no later than November 2024. Because after that, you're not going to be able to leave anyway. Okay? You're not going to be able to leave anyway. And it's going to get that serious to where you're going to wish you went ahead and got the hell on. Okay? All right? So, lava's freezing up bad. Is it still freezing up? IG is freezing me. Okay. IG, I would appreciate it if you would stop freezing up my live. I would really, really appreciate it, because I don't do lives that often here. So I'm going to ask you to please stop freezing up the live so I can get this message out, because I don't know when I'm going to put out another message anyway. Best country to move to, anywhere in South America. Don't go to Colombia, though. At Amani Dunia, I suggest you start doing your research. You can go anywhere that you want to go, baby. You can go anywhere that you want to go, wherever that you feel the need to go to. Wherever that you feel the need to go to, you're more than welcome to go if you want to. Okay? At NEC and 19, whatever your number is, it's not happening everywhere. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that everything is happening everywhere. That's not true. It's not happening everywhere. You know, you guys are going to have to understand how the internet game is played. Okay, a lot of times the news media will show you things that ain't even true. Okay? They will make you believe that there's no place for you to go, so you'll become hopeless. Okay, I'm out the country, sweetheart, and whatever the fuck is going on up in America, I'm not dealing with it here at all. Period. And don't plan on dealing with it. And when I make my moves based upon ancestral or spiritual advice. So I suggest you guys start getting out of your 3D mind and start getting into a higher vibrational frequency. Start getting a little bit more spiritual. Start getting involved with your ancestors. Start talking to your ancestors. Start making offerings to your ancestors, and they will guide you to where you need to go. Okay? There are certain parts even inside the United States that you can move to that's safe. All you have to do is look at the most rural areas there are in the country. It's common sense. Y'all got to start learning how to use it. Yes, I told everybody I was leaving. You see, here's the difference between me and most people. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to get it done. Okay, that's it. I'm not sitting up here talking just to be talking with y'all. You should look at me as an example. Okay, she actually said it. She actually did it. And if you really think about it, it's ballsy as hell to take your behind outside your home country. In one aspect, you can look at it that way. But when it comes to wanting to have a peace of mind, that's what it was about for me, having a peace of mind and disconnected from all the bullshit. Okay? Just start talking to them. Call them out. Call your ancestors' name out and start talking to them. There's no formal way to communicate to your ancestors. Just start talking to them like you would any other person you would talk to. Well, the Anunnaki try and hurt the original people. Some of the original people are part of the Anunnaki. Are they going to try to hurt the original people? I'll say this. They are very suppressive and oppressive. So here's how this is going to go. When they go to establish the old kingdoms, that's exactly what they're planning on doing. If you're down with the program, you're good. If you're not down with the program, it's death. That's how they get down. There's no negotiation with them in that way. They don't have emotions. They don't have feelings. They are a dark energy type of race. Yes, they do look like, some of them do look like us. Okay? But they are a dark energy type of race of beings. Dark energy. What does that mean? That means that they can be very malevolent at times. They don't have a heart to feel. Okay? I know a lot of you guys want to romanticize something that you do not have a full understanding about. I've had the encounter. That ain't it. Okay? That ain't it. When you start coming into full knowledge of who you are, so you can't just say knowledge of self without fully understanding what that means. When I speak about knowledge of self and knowledge about who you are, I'm talking about finding out your actual spark, your original spark of what actually brought you into existence that had you have many, 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 many lifetimes after the original spark. Okay? And in order for one to get to that aspect of themselves, they have to put a lot of work in, starting with the shadow. And once you get down to shadow work, and once you deal with the core aspects of your shadow work, then you can start getting into deeper things. You can start getting into cleaning up your karma. You can start getting into other types of like theta meditation. You can start getting into so many different things. But here's what y'all do. Here's what a lot of people do. A lot of y'all want to skip your shadow work. You want to jump past your ancestors. You want to carry all your bullshit and all your baggage and all your projections and all the shit that you didn't take the time to heal with, right? And then you want to talk about taking your ass up into A5D Earth, which you ain't going to get there if you ain't did your shadow work. That's number one. You want to take all of your bullshit and you want to bring it to the cosmos. What you guys fail to understand is that even some of your demons are on a higher vibrational frequency. Do not get it twisted and think that because you are in 5D or you're in 6D or you're in 7D or you're in 8D that you're still not going to deal with demons. I told you guys this once before. The higher up you go, what did I say? The bigger and the badder the devils get. Why? Because you're dealing with a planet of duality. Okay? So you're not going to escape that. You're always going to have the dark. You're always going to have the light. You're always going to have both. Now, is there a time where we didn't have to deal with the other side? Of course. Is there going to be a time where we can get to that again? Yes. 5D Earth will allow you to get to that. Okay? But don't get it twisted. Don't ever get it twisted. Ever. In your life, get it twisted. You got to come out of the romanticism of everything that you got going on. And you got to start looking at things on a very ground level. You can't be sitting up here romanticizing everything and getting into fantasy land about everything when you don't even know what the hell you're getting into fantasy land about. I heard many times you guys say, oh, take me on the ship and take me right on up out of here, not knowing who's on the ship, Are they malevolent towards us or you or your kind? What kind of beings are they, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy to me, some of the comments I see you guys make, and I'm thinking to myself, if they only knew what they were asking for. You got a big ass war that's taking place right above our heads right now. You got military around the world that's testing atomic bombs and nuclear warheads, which is the craziest shit that I've ever heard of in my life, because they think that they're actually going to go against the Anunnaki and the Lyrians and everybody else that's up there. They actually think they got a chance to go against that. I saw how that was going to go down. That's not going to go down very well, and they're not going to win that war. They're going to wipe the whole shit out. I don't even know what possessed them to think, oh, we're just going to just that and the third. Meanwhile, while you got that shit going on, you got China coming in through the back door, getting ready, infiltrating all sectors of the United States right now, even as we speak. Why that's going on. And China knows about the war above our heads. So let all that sink in. So while everybody's out here partying, and everybody's up here watching sports, and everybody's up here caught up in the drama, and everybody's out here caught up in the gossip, and everybody's out here being negative to nasty to one another, while all that shit's going on, okay? You got timeline speeding up, fast as hell, okay? Time done ran out for everybody, okay? And you got all this other shit going on, not to mention the weather going crazy right now. To add on to it. Okay? So at this stage in the game, this is where you should be at right now. It's not about, hey, ISIS, when are you going to do your next live? It should be, what am I getting ready to do for myself here? What am I doing to prep for what's to come? What plans do I have in place? Have I executed any of these plans? I just put a post up on my Instagram about Cuba wiping out everybody's bank accounts down there in Cuba. Everybody's bank accounts got wiped out, including the people from Cuba who live in the States who were sending money home to their bank accounts, to their family members, wiped the hell out because Cuba started protesting up here in the States. So the government said, okay, that's the game you want to play? I'm going to shut all your money down. And the people are suffering down there enough as it is. Now, I told y'all to take that damn money out the bank. I hope you guys listen. Because if you seriously think that we're not next, you better think again. We are next. And I want you to think about how crazy and stupid the people are now as it is. I want you to think about how they acted when the gas shortage went. How they're about to start acting how they're about to start acting when they find out that ain't no money in their bank accounts. I want you to think about how cuckoo. And you're talking about cuckoo folks that's got a lot of guns. There's a lot of people in this country that got guns. So I want you to think about that. And now I'm hearing food shortages. So how do you think people are going to act? At Dandit Weller, it is naive of you to put any kind of responsibility on one particular person. You can't be serious. You have yet to understand that everything operates on the collective level. Until you guys start understanding that there's no such thing as individual, everybody has to come together on a collective level to make a change, then the people are going to remain exactly where they are. Because you think that somebody out here should resolve all your problems. That's not how that's going to go. The writing is on the wall that that's not the way that's going to go. And why you guys haven't figured this out yet, I have no idea. This has a lot to do with people not wanting to take any accountability or responsibility for their own lives. This goes back to the shadow work. You shouldn't be looking for nobody to save your ass. You should be looking to save your own ass. Okay? You went to Navy Federal Credit Union and they're holding money from people. We can't get all our money. Whoa. You need to do everything in cashier's checks. Don't get cash, because they're not going to give you that. Get cashier's checks. No, money will not be useless. No, universal shaman. Okay, I guess I didn't talk to y'all about this on live yet. So let me give you the rundown. I thought I talked about this, but I must have talked about this on my Telegram channel, but I swear to God, I thought I talked about this on Instagram. So let me tell you the real story about what happened to us as a people. I thought I told you this already. There was a time a long time ago where we were really at the top of our game. We had access to all of our powers. We were in full knowledge of who we were. And there really wasn't anybody that could really touch us like that. It just wasn't happening like that because we were that powerful. Let me explain to you why we're that powerful. Because every last one of us have different higher aspects of ourselves that are different beings of when you reincarnated many lifetimes before. Okay? So these different aspects are different versions of who you are, but they have been extremely elevated. Each individual aspect, a person might have like 5 or 6 higher aspects. They are having their own experiences, but it's when you come into knowledge about them and who they are and what they are and how you can communicate and what power they actually possess. Okay? Now, during the time period when we were on top of our game, we became very arrogant. As the first way ancient ancestors said, we became very haughty. We were doing deals with other beings coming to the planet that were much more weaker than us. Okay? We didn't feel as though that anybody was a threat to us. We were trading information. We were trading technology. We were trading different things. But in the process of us doing these trades, things that we weren't supposed to be doing in the manner that we were doing it and who we were doing it with, it had a lot to do with the fact that we wasn't giving reverence to our divinity and we wasn't giving reverence to source. And when you decide that you're not going to give reverence to source, that which sparks your life, when you decide that you're not going to acknowledge your own divinity and you think that you are the source, which is what happened with us, the sun is actually what hit us and wiped out our memories. Okay? The sun. The sun is what wiped out our memories. And I want you guys to understand that the sun is pure 100% divine cosmic intelligence. It's also a stargate where you can travel through it, but it's also extremely intelligent. And the sun is not something that nothing man-made could ever try to destroy. They've made many attempts to try to destroy the sun, try to block out the sun, the whole nine. It's never going to happen. And because of the power that we possess with us being children of the sun, at any given time when we want to see the sun, all we got to do is say, hey, sun, let me see your face. And literally the sun will let you see its face every single time. Try it. When you guys are up in New York City or you guys in areas that are doom and gloom, tell the sun on the collective level, I want to see your face. And watch the sun clear out them clouds. The sun doesn't need our help to do anything. It just is what it is. Okay? So that's one thing that we won't ever have to worry about is our light being dimmed by the sun. It's not going to ever happen. Okay? No matter what they're saying about Bill Gates and whoever else and whoever thinks they're going to do this and that and the third and who's big and bad and all that, it's not going to happen. So let me just go ahead and reassure you on that. All right? Now, in the process of us taking that fall and our memories being erased, prior to that happening, a lot of things started happening where a lot of us were having tribal wars. There was a lot of jealousy and a lot of things that started coming into play that should have never came into play. Okay? The sun wiped out our memories. And this is the shit they don't want you to know. Okay? Now, the sun, that's why they talk about the second coming or the Son of Man, which the original definition of man meant dark-skinned people. That was the original definition. Old definition. Meant dark-skinned people. Okay? Now, when you start talking about the second coming, people are getting that caught up with Jesus Christ. Has nothing to do with him. Okay? When you're talking about the second sun, we're talking about the silver sun. And we're talking about that sun waking us all back up. The last solar flare that we just had is waking up a lot of people right now. The next solar flare that we have, the big one, there's going to be a solar flare that we're going to have that's going to go off at the blink of an eye. When that goes off, that's when we're going to transform into our true selves. Now, some of us would have already transcended into 5D Earth. A lot of y'all will remain here on this earth. Things are going to go back to how they were in the days of Atlantis, in the days of Egypt, in the days of Babylon. It's going to return back to that. Okay? So that means that all the people that existed when you had different interdimensional beings that were actually operating with the people, that's exactly what it's going to turn back into. Okay? I talked to you guys about your bodies being crystalline. I talked to you guys about your get a lot of sun so you can start seeing the sparkles on your body and things of that nature. Boom. Okay? But that's really what happened. We got our memory wiped out. When the sun decides, because it's intelligence, when the sun decides that it is going to wake us all completely back up, that's when the solar flash is going to hit. And all of us are going to wake back up with full knowledge of who we are. Now, there are certain things that are happening to people right now. Some of you guys might be on this live. Some of you guys might think I'm crazy. I'm not talking to you. But I am talking to the ones that are having experiences where either they're having, where they feel like they might be transforming into something. Something may have activated in them and they feel like they're transforming into something. Okay? That's happening right now. That's really happening right now. There's things inside your DNA that is being activated by the sun that is going to assist you in you fully becoming who exactly you really are. Okay? That's exactly what's going to happen. Some people are going to be very immature and not be able to handle the power that's given to them. So those mutants, I call them mutants, are going to be a little bit destructive until they get settled within their body. But this is really happening like right now. Okay? Some people, it's going to happen on and off. That's how it starts. Okay? Sometimes it may happen around the full moon. Sometimes it may happen around the new moon for some people. All right? I need, for those of you guys that are going through these changes, I'm letting you know right now, if this is what's happening to you or you're having experiences where you feel yourself shifting, shape shifting, things of that nature, if you feel that this is what's happening to you, it's because it's who you've always been. You just didn't know any better. Okay? A lot of things are changing very fast. They sped up the timelines again. So it's pretty much a wrap. So, and when I say a wrap, I'm saying that you are now witnessing the destruction of this racist ass system that no longer serves a purpose on planet Earth. A system that did not benefit anybody but the people who created it. Okay? All of that's going to fall. All of it's falling. The presidency has dismantled itself. Fell. I don't need to go into detail about that. All you got to do is open up your eyes and look and see what's playing out in front of your face. I don't need to go into detail about that. Just look. Open up your damn eyes and look. Okay? So, there's what happened with us in terms of our falling. And I'm just taking it all the way back. Okay, in terms of falling. And imagine having your memory erased and you not knowing who you are. And next thing you know, you find yourself being subservient to beings that are way lesser than you. And you don't even know why. You don't know who these beings are. None of that. I want you guys to understand something. There's been narratives that has been created specifically for us to make us think certain things. People get upset with me when I bust those things out the water. People get upset with me when I challenge some of the things that our ancestors have done. People get upset with me when I expose the fact that there were CIA operatives that were put in place for us to look up to. People get upset at me whenever I challenge the old guard of how our people did things. People get upset with me about that. Oh, you're an agent. Oh, you must be working for somebody. Oh, this, that, and the third. And it can't be that I'm a critical thinker. It can't be that I did some research. It can't be that I found out other information. It can't be that. It can't be that my consciousness have expanded. It can't be that I did some cosmic research, or maybe I was in the Akashic record, or maybe I was in the cosmic records getting some other information. It can't be any of that. You want to know why? Because people that think like that think that you can't, work with a limited mindset. And they operate in their arrogance because they think they know what they're talking about and don't have a clue about none of the shit that they're talking about. And the information is new. You guys ain't heard it before, so it's foreign to your ears. You guys need to understand that every single thing that you've been told is a damn lie. And the only thing that's truth is what you currently experience in your own personal life. That is what's true to you. Okay? Your actual experiences, your actual own individual experiences is what is true to you. And nobody has the right to sit up here and challenge that. If that's what it is with you, then that's what it is. You want to know why? Because people's consciousness levels operate on different levels at different times throughout their life. So what might be understood is one thing at some point. Now evolution comes because you learn more, or you expanded your mind more, or you may have had some experiences that's given you some deeper information, or you may have come across some information because some keys and open up, or a door may open up that you never had access to before because you wasn't ready for it. See, when a person's not ready to receive certain information, they're not going to receive it. Therefore, in their mind, it doesn't exist, or it's fake, or it's crazy, or it's this, or it's that, or it's your imagination, or whatever the hell it is. Okay, these are the individuals that are going to get as far as they think. They're not going to get any further than where they are. They're not going to ever be able to see God the way that they need to see it. They're never going to be able to see all the things that they could see because they got it made up in their mind that what they think is it. And that's it. Okay? A lot of you guys may have triggered memory experiences from a past life where you're remembering things and you're like, wait a minute, what is this? Because I don't even recall even having this experience. Some of you guys are even having experiences after the shift that just took place. Some of you guys may even be having experiences about your local surroundings where when you're traveling, all of a sudden, the same road you've been going down 750 times no longer looks the same anymore. And you're like, wait, where did that come from? And why is this road cut off? Because it wasn't cut off like this 2 days ago. And what is all these new buildings and shit over here, these new developments? And I was just here literally 2 days ago. That shit wasn't there. Now all of a sudden it's there. That type of shit is what you need to look for when you experience a shift. Okay? If that's been happening to you, it's because you're experiencing a shift. Now, right now, the Schumann resonance has been ringing off the charts so much that we're literally transitioning into 5D. This is literally happening, where we're literally transitioning into 5D. But let me explain something to you about that. You got to be ready for that. If you're not ready for 5D, you're not going to make it to 5D. That means all the foolishness and all the dumb shit that you've been participating in all this time is you ain't going to get to 5D. You're going to remain in 4D. Some of y'all are going to remain in 3D. In order for you to get to 5D, your consciousness would have to raise to such to get there because you wouldn't even see the opening for you to get to 5D because you're operating on a 4D or a 3D frequency. It won't be open to you for you to see it. Okay? It won't be open to you for you to see it at all. So you'll be saying these things, but you ain't putting in that work like you're supposed to in order for you to get to that point. So when people say, well, how do I get to this? Well, let me tell you how you get to that. Start off with your shadow work, babies. And until you deal with that first, until you deal with your shadow side, the darker sides of yourself, the traumas that you've experienced in your life, the shit that you did to hurt other people because of the trauma that you experienced from others, until you deal with these different sides of you, the ugly sides of who you are, the darker parts of yourself, and learn how to integrate all aspects of yourself, until you're able to do that, you're not going to be able to graduate to other levels. what's going to happen is you're going to fall on your face. That 3D shit's going to come right back around because you didn't deal with shit. And next thing you know, you're back in your karmic cycles again, going around in circles over and over and over again, feeling sorry, talking about woe is me. This didn't work out. Woe is me. Instead of taking the time out to say, okay, this is a learning experience. There's hurt that I'm feeling. What is it about me that I need to change so I can stop going through this cycle over and over and over again? This is where the shadow work comes into play. So if you're not able to deal with your shadow, you're not going to make it to 3D. To 5D. It's not going to happen. It's just, you're just not going to, your frequency isn't going to be high enough to even see it. As some of you guys may swear up and down you see it, but it doesn't mean you're going to get to it. Common denominators, boom. Now I'm gonna drop some science on y'all, but y'all gonna blow, your wig gonna blow back so heavy that you're gonna be like, what did she just say? Oh my God, did she just say this? Oh my God. But I have to do this because there's too many of our brothers out here caught up in the matrix because they listening to their enemy to tell them about their own spirituality. And you can't be led by your enemy to tell you about your spirituality. You have to be led by self. And some of you guys may not agree with what I have to say, but again, until you get to a certain level of consciousness, you're not going to understand. Some of you guys are going to get it. Some of you guys already might be aware of it. I brought it up on my live, and I'm going to talk about it right now. I've been hearing a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people saying some crazy shit out their mouth about some books they read. Thoth is Lucifer. That's funny to me. And it's funny to me because if you took the time out to really study Venus, you would understand that Lucifer is a black divine goddess over Venus. Lucifer is not the devil. Never was a devil. Shaitan, on the other hand, is a fallen angel who chose to go to the dark side. Y'all know him as Satan. His name is Shaitan. Okay? And there has been a lot of things that have been purposely and willfully done to make sure that you don't understand or get access to this knowledge. Okay? And so I wanted to drop that science on y'all tonight because I want you guys to understand that everything that you have been taught is a lie. And I want you guys to start doing your own divine reading. I want you guys to start doing deeper research and find out the real reason why they have demonized, quote unquote, Lucifer. And you'll begin to start finding out the truth. Because you guys got to understand, melanated beings have always been the children of light. We absorb radiation, which makes us what? Light. We've always been the children of the light. So how is it that every image that they've created, every image that's created that's been black has been demonized? Every woman or black goddess out here has been demonized. Every black woman in the world is demonized in the eyes of these people. How is that possible? How is that possible? It's time for you guys to start. I'm busting all the shit out. All kinds of shit you guys been told. I'm going to drop it on you. Go do the research on your own. Now, some of y'all are going to get mad because I said that. I don't give two shits about that. Challenge me on it so I can take your ass to school. I dare you. Because you're going to learn about the divine feminine today, baby. And you're going to stop dogging the divine feminine. You're going to stop talking down on the divine feminine. And you're going to respect the divine feminine because the divine feminine is here, baby. And it's on the planet and it ain't going nowhere. And when I tell you that justice is swift, it's coming only from the call of the divine feminine. I want to make sure you guys are clear about that. That call is being made from the divine feminine. Because there are forces out here in this world, there are forces out here in the cosmos that nobody is aware of. A lot of people are not aware of. Because you've been told to think one thing and it's a damn lie. And it's naive of us to think that we're the only ones. It's naive of us to think that we got all the answers. But I'm going to let you guys know something right now. Y'all need to do your research. Heavy research. Okay? Heavy research. Go inward. Tell your mind, tell your Ori, say, look, I need some information here. I need a divine download so I can get some information. I need to be guided to this truth and see what happens to your ass. And see if you don't see if that shit don't come to you. Now, I had people come to me, oh, you just that and the third. You know, I don't even deal with people on that level when they come at me like that because it's beneath me. If you're coming to me on a 3D level, there is no conversation to be had. It is what it is. I'm just not where you're at. I'll overstand you though. I'll overstand your projections, but I'm not going to entertain your projections. This is not where I'm at. This is part of the reason why doing these lives, the way I've been doing these lives here as of late, this is why I've been selective and choosy about when I'm going to do a live, what I'm going to say about when I'm doing the live, and the whole nine. Because I'm not going to do a live unless I actually got something to say or something to share with you guys. I don't feel it's necessary to do it. Swift justice. Okay. Jesus was nothing but a thought form. And see, that's the part that people see. Y'all know what a thought form is? Anybody can create one. All you gotta do is come up with an imaginary, just come up in your mind with an imaginary thought about an entity. You can even do this for yourself if you wanted to. Start giving it energy. Over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually that thing is going to birth to life. That's all that happened here with Jesus. The minute people stop praying to his ass, poof, he's back to his thought for himself, and that's the end of his ass. That's all that happened here. Because these people that put this information out there understood magic and understood about manifestation and understood about thought forms and understood the various different levels of magic to make things happen. You think these people ain't using magic over the United States right now to keep this shit dark and ugly? You think that whenever you watch the TV, that the TV isn't casting spells on your ass? What do you think MK Ultra is? You don't think those are spells? When you're listening to music and you listen to what's being said on the music and the music is constantly giving you a bad message over and over and over again, you didn't realize they were broadcasting spells and make you go out here and do dumb shit? You didn't know those are spells? Magical spells? You didn't know these folks will go into grid areas? They go into all the grids. So I want you guys to pay attention to something and pay attention to where the energy grid centers are. Just research the grid. You think that you research the grid and then research all the states that have death penalties. And pay attention to where all the states are that have death penalties and the prisons that are doing the executions. And what you're going to learn is that those prisons that are doing those executions sit on a particular energy grid or a particular energy node because they are doing sacrifice. They are doing ritual every single time that happens. Lucifer is not an angel. Lucifer is a goddess, baby. That's where you were lied to at. I've been in the music game for 20 years, retired in 2018. Okay? Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it no more. I just couldn't do it. Frequency too low, I couldn't do it. Okay? Music's been a part of my life, my whole entire life, from the first time my father ever purchased my first instrument. Okay? That's always been a part of me. It always will be a part of me. But what this corporate structure has done, all in the name of money, it's not something I'm interested in. Okay? When they stopped allowing people to be creative over $1, I had to exit stage left out the game. The feminine aspect of Venus. Lucifer is the goddess of Venus, and she's extremely powerful. And she looks like us babies. And they don't want you to know about that goddess. They don't want you to know she is a cosmic divine mother. They don't want you to know about her. They don't want you tapping into that energy because it'll wipe their asses clean off the face of this damn earth. They don't want you getting caught up in that. Not everybody is a Venusian. Venusian meaning children of Venus. Okay? So I want to let you know that there are gods and goddesses. You know, you have people out there say that, you know, that their aspects, like, you know, people associate the aspects of planets with gods and goddesses. But there's another piece to that information that I can assure you. That's exactly what they are. Okay? That's exactly what they are. They just never open it up in that way to explain to the people. When you see the bodies moving a certain way, the planetary bodies moving a certain way, who do you think is doing that? There's an intelligence behind that that's doing that. Okay? There's an intelligence behind that that's doing that. But there's a lot of information that was put out there by certain individuals that cause our people confusion. And ladies, I want you to be very careful with these men out here that are promoting this other shit. Because they're also working off an agenda that they don't even know that they're working off an agenda. And an agenda that was given to them, they don't even know what the hell's going on. They're being played and fooled. Okay? Earth is a divine feminine planet. Always has been. Earth is a female planet. Always have been. There are more females on this planet than there is men. Always has been. Earth itself is a being. It is an entity. It has its own heartbeat. You can hear the heartbeat. Okay? The moon is your friend. And I'm talking about the real moon. Luna is your friend. Because that's who's beaming that divine feminine energy onto this planet. And that goes for anybody else that's truly tapped in and understands that they got to master both sides of the game. If you understand, if you're in your divine masculine, to the fellas, if you're in your divine masculine, you understand that you wouldn't exist without the divine feminine. You understand that. So if you understand that and you respect both sides, just understand that there's a lot of things that's been suppressed from you that you wasn't aware of. You just wasn't aware of it. And it's time for you guys to open your mind up a little bit more to find out more information. Because see, this is the era that we're currently living in. We're living in the era of information, unraveling of lies, the truth coming to the forefront. This is the reason why the powers that be are moving so fast. Because every single time they speed up a timeline, the first one ancient ancestors speed it up even faster. So they know that they only have a certain amount of time to get certain things done because they got to come up off the planet. Okay? Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that you're not going to experience a lot of crazy stuff in the process. That's not what that means. If you know how to properly navigate, you'll be able to skate through and see yourself to the other side. But I want to make sure you guys understand there is no normal. There is no normal. Keep your wits about you. Watch yourself as it pertains to weather. Watch how you're moving. Pay attention to your surroundings. Your awareness game has got to step up all the way across the board. You can succeed during this time period. If you learn how to disconnect and understand that this shit is a program, you can succeed during this time period. You could be in a blissful state during this time period, should you choose to be that way. Just don't be out here stupid. Make sure your steps are well thought out and well planned. Don't be naive out here. Okay? My mom always said that if men understood they all came from women, there wouldn't be so much BS out here. Well, where else did they come from? You know what I'm saying? That's why it cracks me up when I see them, when I see how disconnected they are and how much they hate themselves. Because anytime that you see a man hating women, he hates himself. That means he also hates his mother. And if he hates his mother, he damn sure hates himself. Okay? That's how this goes. If you hate that which gives life and gave life to you, you hate yourself. And that's a very obvious assessment. I want you guys to understand, and I can't believe I got as many people on this live tonight that I got on here tonight. I'm tripping right now because I'm shadow banned like crazy, so I can't even believe that this is even happening right now, to be honest. It took me a whole month to get on here before I was going to come out and say something to y'all. But I had to come on board, and I had to, okay, see, little comments like that. Someone said divine gay. See, that's what you call lower vibrational energy. Who says shit like that? I'm having a conversation about high frequency shit. They down here on some 3D shit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why some people's going to make it and a lot of people's not. Because you're focusing on the wrong things. What are you guys doing right now to assist in your divinity? What are you doing right now in terms of you working on yourself to get into a higher state of consciousness? What are you doing right now to raise your vibrational frequency? Are you seeking out higher things? Are you seeking out higher knowledge? Because that's what Aquarius is all about. Aquarius is the age of spirituality and coming into full self. Your material things do not make you. Your cars, your money, your gold chains, your sneakers, anything that you're wearing, the size of your house does not make who you are. So my question to you is, do you know who you are? And what are you doing if you don't know who you are? What are you actually doing to find out so you can come into that journey of finding out who you are? 'Cause I'm going to tell y'all something. When you start that path of working on yourself, there is no feeling in the world like the self-discovery of self. Because the journey that you're taking right now is nothing more than other than that. Each human being that comes to the planet for different reasons. But at the end of the day, it's still your journey. It's not somebody else's journey, it's yours. It's yours for you to discover self and who you are. This is an opportunity for you to take it. Y'all should be jumping.